Hi, I'm Power Monkey, and in this scripting tutorial video, I'm going to be teaching you about logical operators. So this is the last of the operators little bit that I'm going to be doing basically. I did arithmetic operators and relational operators. So if you don't know what those are and you want to go check out that video, I'll leave a little card somewhere so you can go do that. So for logical operators, we are going to need to know that nil and false are both considered as false. True is true, so true is considered as true. Also, I'm going to be using if statements for this tutorial, so if you do know what those are, then we can just go right ahead and go into the first logical operator that we're going to be looking at, and that is the AND operator. So AND essentially evaluates as true only if both conditions are true. So for the first example, I'm going to do if 2 plus 2 equals 4, and we'll just do true to make it easier, then we can do this. So this is essentially 2 plus 2 equals 4, so this will return the Boolean value of true, and this is true already, so this is obviously going to be true. So we can do print both conditions are true, thus we can print this message. Because 2 plus 2 equals 4, so true and true, so this will print because AND requires both conditions to be true, and they are. So if we do one where it is false, so if we do if true and false, then print only one condition is true, thus this message will not print. So because AND requires both conditions to be true, true and false, obviously only one is true and the other one is false, so this is not going to run this chunk of code in this if statement. So if we do if nil and false, then print both conditions are false, and they're both false because if you remember right at the beginning when I said nil and false are both considered as false, so that is obviously going to be false. So this is false and this is also false, like that, and then that is true and that is false. So if we do thus this message will not print. Let's do capitals over here. There we go. So that is essentially what AND does. It requires both conditions to be true in order to run the if statement. So this is the only one that will print because this is the only one that has both conditions as true. So we can do the next logical operator, which we are going to look at. It's going to be the OR. So we're going to do OR. And OR basically evaluates as true if only one condition, or what is this? Okay, there we go. Evaluates as true if only one condition is true. So AND requires both conditions to be true to be considered as true, whereas OR requires only one condition to be true. So we're going to do evaluates as true if one condition is true. So we're going to do if true, or let's just do the 2 plus 2 equals 4 again. Then we can't do if true or true because it will go red because you've already checked something, so you can't be like if 2 plus 2 equals 4 or 2 plus 2 equals 4, that's redundant, so you can't have two of the same. So we're going to do if 2 plus 2 equals 4, so that they're both still true, but we can't have it be the same thing. So if we do true and true, so that you know that they're both true, so we can do print both conditions are true, thus we can print this message. So or only requires one, but both of them are, so it does it. So we can do if true and false, then print one condition is true, thus we can print this message. So because this is true, oh sorry, we need or over here. So if true or false, then print one condition is true. So we can print this message because or requires only one condition to be true and one is. This one isn't, but it doesn't matter because this one already is true. So it's going to do this chunk of code right here. So if we do last example for this logical operator, we can do if nil or false, then print both conditions are false, thus this message will not print. So because nil is considered as false, we know this, and this is of course false. So both conditions are false, so this isn't going to print. If one of these were true, it would print, but they're both false, so it's not going to print this message. So let's move on to the final logical operator, which is the not operator. So this one. And this one essentially evaluates as the opposite of the condition. So evaluates as the opposite of the condition. So what I mean by that is, for example, let's just do if not true, then print statement requires argument to not be true, thus this message will not print. So this is basically going, if it's not true, then print this message, but it is true, so it's not going to run this because this not is basically saying that this if statement over here wants it to be everything but true, but it is true, so it's not going to run this chunk of code right here, so it's not going to print this message. However, if we were to do if not false, then this message will actually print, and I'll explain it in a second as to why. So this message will print. Now, this message is going to print because it's essentially, when you have double negatives in maths, you know that it makes a positive. For example, if you do -6 multiplied by -6, it's going to be a positive 36. However, if you were to do -6 multiplied by 6, it would be negative 36. So it's basically the whole two negatives make a positive. So it's going if not false. So this not is negative obviously, and false is of course negative as well. So if not false, then the not is cancelling the false out and it's making it true. So this message will print because the if statement is true. So let's do another example. So let's do if not 6 plus 6 equals 0, then we can do print statement requires 6 plus 6 to not be 0, thus we can print this message. So this is basically going, if 6 plus 6 is not equal to 0, then print this statement, and because 6 plus 6 is indeed not equal to 0, then it can print this over here. So if we do one last example, we can do if not 6 plus 6 equals 12, which it does, so we can do then print statement, let's just copy and paste this, 12, and thus this message will not print because 6 plus 6 is indeed equal to 12, so it's going if 6 plus 6 is not equal to 12, then do this, but because 6 plus 6 is equal to 12, it will not run this chunk of code in this if statement. Okay, so we can test this now. So we're going to run this. So we're going to go in the view and we're going to turn on the output so that we can see that. Yeah, well, we're actually going to want to put these in brackets. I forgot about that. So put these in brackets first so that it can return the ball value and the script won't error. So now we should only have the messages that say that it can print out. Okay, so let's test it out. So let's do run. Okay, let's see. We can print this message, This message will print, thus we can print this message. Did we miss out any that was supposed to print and did not? So line 7, yep. 22, yep. 26, yep. And 40 is the next one, yes it is. And then 44. Okay, yeah. So these are all correct. We didn't get any errors, so that is good. Let's get rid of this now because we don't need that. Okay, so that is it for this tutorial video. So now you can use logical operators in your scripts, and that's it for this video, and I hope you liked it. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!